What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Yates Chronicles. I'm your host, Dion, and I'm glad you're here. Since it's Valentine's weekend, I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind: love, connection, and how relationships of all kinds shape us. Love, it just doesn't mean romance, it shows up in friendships, family, and even how we treat ourselves. Today, I'm reflecting on how these relationships help me grow, the lessons I've learned, and the ways I want to be more intentional with the connections in my life. Whenever we talk about Valentine's Day, romantic relationships are the first thing that comes up. But honestly, there's so much more to it. Relationships, whether romantic or not, can be some of the biggest teachers. One thing I've learned is that relationships have seasons. There have been people in my life that felt permanent at the time, but life, it had different plans. So, with me moving a lot, especially with being in the army for the past 16 years, taught me that not all relationships are built to last forever. And that's okay. What matters is what those connections brought to your life while they were there. But meaningful relationships don't just happen. They take work, like real communication, vulnerability, and trust. I used to think that showing up as your authentic self was easy. Turns out, it's not. It takes courage to be honest with what you want, who you are, and what you need. And that authenticity that builds the deepest connection. Now, I've got to be real. There have been times when I didn't prioritize myself. It's so easy to get caught up in the life and forget to take care of the person staring back at you in the mirror. Whether it was physical health, mental health, or just not giving myself enough grace. I learned the hard way that self-love is not selfish, it's essential. For me, self-love starts with slowing down. When I go on jogs at Mission Bay or take those peaceful walks at Lake Miramar, I'm reminded to reflect on life. It's during those quiet moments that I tune into my faith and remind myself all the things I'm grateful for. Those reflections are a form of self-love too. It's about being kind to yourself, even on days when things aren't perfect. This year, I've made it a goal to be more intentional with the relationships I keep. Life moves fast, and it's easy to let weeks or months pass without really investing in the people who matter. But relationships take consistency. So, checking in, being present, and having those tough conversations when needed. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to be vulnerable, but vulnerability is where growth happens. I'm learning that being intentional doesn't mean perfection. It just means making the effort to show up and show people you love and being willing to work things together. So, on Valentine's weekend, I encourage you take a moment and think about all the ways love shows up in your life, whether it's in friendships, family, or how you treat yourself. Love is about connection, growth, and being present. And the more we show up as our authentic selves, the more those real connections become. So, thank you for tuning in this episode of Yates Chronicles. If this conversation resonated with you, share it with someone who could use a little reminder about love connection. I'll be back soon with you for more real and honest conversations. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay grounded, and keep it real.